Hey everybody, I just wanted to preface this video with this little clip here saying how I've never changed a freeze plug before. Mostly my buddy Gary did a lot of the work in this video. It seems to have fixed the coolant leak. I don't know if I made that clear in the video because I haven't actually edited the video yet, but I just wanted to let you guys know we were kind of showing you what to expect when you get down under there and really start working on the thing. So hopefully this video in some way helps you understand how to fix a freeze plug, how difficult it could be based on like the tight space that there was under there, based on the fact that we had to dangle the starter, the flipping starter, had a weird bolt on the electrical connection going to it, so we kind of let it dangle for a while, and then we propped it up, and then it slipped down, and it hit Gary in the head, and we did things probably all the not the best way possible, but hopefully still you guys can find some use out of this video changing the freeze plugs. So alright, if it did help you though, definitely at the end of the video let me know, thumbs up or a comment or something like that. Alright guys, happy backyards working on your car day if this is something you're gonna end up doing. Hey everybody, today we're going to be messing around with a 1990 Dodge Ram 250. It's one of those cool stubby front-ended van. It's got the little top thing on it, and what it's been doing is leaking coolant, and it's been kind of hard to figure out where it's leaking coolant from, but it seems like it's toward the back of the engine, so we're looking at probably a freeze plug. So today we're going to get it up on ramps, and we are going to get under there, remove the starter, take a look at the freeze plugs to see if that's what's leaking under there, and then we'll have a replacing freeze plug video for you if that's what's wrong. Stay tuned. About halfway up. Woohoo! It's always handy to have a creeper. Let's make sure it's not yourself. Alright, so I'm not an expert on these Dodge vans, so we're sort of just kind of hunting under here for stuff. But we're going to go underneath the driver's side. Alright, driver's side, there's a starter right there. I don't know if I can... Now you're looking at it right in the center of the screen there. Then we got some freeze plugs right behind it that I can see. A little bit. They're above it. And behind it. So that's why everybody's removing the starter on these things to get access to them, because they are kind of starter's definitely in the way. So you got two little nuts you got to remove to take those bolts off. And then that one electrical connection, and we'll get that starter off. I'll show you what we're looking at. We see the freeze plugs, and the one in the back looks like it's... Let's see if I can point at it. So here's the starter I'm tapping on. So this freeze plug right here, this round part. This one's all rusty. This one's all clean over here, this other circly one. But this one's all damp and doesn't look so hot. So this is the one we need to replace. Right there that I'm tapping on, that one right there. Alright, so one of the first things we're going to do is drain the coolant out of the radiator, because the coolant's not going to come gushing out of there anyway. So we're going to, this has got a new radiator under here, so we're just going to twist that thing off and let the coolant drain out. Alright, here it goes. If we're lucky, we just reclaim all this coolant and don't have to buy any more. So a couple steps we didn't do here. First, we're going to undo the radiator cap. That way the coolant drains easier. And we got to disconnect the battery because we're going to be undoing the starter from the thing here. Alright guys, we got the starter dropped. This is right where the starter goes. And you can see that one freeze plug right there. You can see the one on the left looks clean, that circular one right there, right? And you can see how this one's just completely gross looking. So we're gonna have to punch that out of there now that the coolant is almost drained out up there, and go get our replacement here. I'll show you what that looks like new and kind of do a little compare and contrast, if you will. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, man. Slide. I wonder if a flathead screwdriver would work better. Oh, it's really coming down now. Oh man. It's like it's getting faster, Gary. Alright, there's the freeze plug. Knocked a hole in it and pulled it out with some little needle nose pliers there. So it's removed, and boy, let me tell you, it loses a lot of coolant when you pull out the freeze plug. So be ready, be prepared for that. Get yourself a nice wide bucket. It's probably a bar leak and stuff. Big gunky sludge crap. Yeah. Oh, yuck. Yeah, I see it. So we're going to end up replacing all 3 of the freeze plugs. Gary took off with one of them. But here's what they look like new. That's what that one looked like. You saw it when it was in there. So these are the holes that he punched into it to pull it out. But if you flip this thing around, you can see there's some like pitting little holes down in here that we think that's where it was leaking from. It's just old and it kind of just rusts through basically. So we've got corrodes through. I don't know if I'm using the right words here. So the funny thing is, we had to try to buy ones that would most closely fit. O'Reilly's was a little weird about having the right size, so he basically felt it and compared it until he could find the right size one of that. So now we're going to tap these back into the engine block. So one of the first things we're going to do here is clean out the hole so it's nice and clean. Had some gunky stuff come out of it. Thinking somebody might have used that bars leak stuff in the past to try to get this leak to stop. Alright, let's put the freeze plug up there in the hole. And we're going to take a socket that's about the same size as the outer edge of it and sort of just tap that on into place. So with much tapping in and difficulty and ruining one of the freeze plugs because we went in 2 sideways, we got that one up in there. And it was so rough, we think we're gonna leave the other 2 alone. The other 2 aren't leaking anyway, so it's up there. We just used one of those sockets to place in the middle of it, and we hammered it up there into place until it was about even with the others. That's about all there is to it. Now we're gonna use tightening up the radiator drain plug, and then we're gonna put the starter back on it, fill it back up with coolant, and start it up, drive it around and test it, see if it leaks over time or if this fixed it. Alright, so we got all the coolant back in, starter bolted back on, gonna connect the battery. Now we're just gonna let it run, let it get warmed up. Thermostat will open up, suck in all the coolant, then we'll top off the coolant and then continue to check underneath and make sure that we're not leaking, and then we should be good to go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this helped you out a little bit.